All right, guys, welcome to the last screencast of the year, and we will be revising our narratives one last time. It's going to be painless, it's going to be fun. You're going to learn something new, and then it will be done. So, you will notice, first of all, that I have created a new assignment in Google Classroom, and it says Final Edit, I believe. What you're going to have to do this time is scroll all the way down to October 20th, I believe, and find your official narrative document. All right, now this is Lola's here. I have not gotten her permission, and she doesn't know I'm doing this, so I'm sure she'll be fine with it. And what you're going to do is copy and paste your narrative into the new assignment. That's the first thing you're going to do. And then you're going to do a couple different kind of edits. And the edit that you're going to do for this screencast is simply trying to remove a couple state of being verbs from action scenes. So I don't expect you have memorized all these state of being verbs, but they're all behind me right here. Have, has, had, be, am, is, are, was, were, been. Anytime you see one of these, I would like you to simply highlight it in blue. And you can see I've done that already. And you don't have to do it through the whole document. I would say once you hit the number 15, if you've done it 15 times, and you can see here I have highlighted 3 of hers, you can stop. You don't have to do every single one. And I think you should really target action. So again, we do not want to just do everything, so we want action. Okay. Action or description, because this is where sometimes these state of being verbs creep in where they shouldn't be. And all right, back to mouse. So in this one, we see it was muggy out and had rained only half an hour before. I grabbed my bag and costume, which was hanging from a large hanger. Those are fine. I wouldn't necessarily change any of those. Let's scroll down. Kids were scurrying around like little mice. Now, this is a great example here of one that we can do something with. And kids were scurrying. And my question is, do we really need the were? So we can just simply get rid of this one, okay? And for here, every change you do this time, you're gonna suggest and edit. Now, some of you have never used this tool before. It'll turn your box green. And even though you're editing your own document, you're gonna suggest and edit to yourself. So I would suggest deleting this. So, and we're going to change it to scurried. And there you go. So kids scurried around like little mice. That simple change can actually, over an entire document, can add a lot of, can add strength to your writing. Because one of the things that kills writing is if it's too wordy. So if you have excess words sitting around, get rid of them. All right, next. Some adults too. All right, whoops. Some adults too. Hairspray was almost misted into my mouth. Now, this is the perfect example of something that we are going to want to change. Hairspray was almost misted into my mouth. So, what is actually happening here is no one is performing the action. Notice, hairspray was almost misted into my mouth. By whom? And that's how we're gonna make the sentence come to life. Now for this one, okay, I'm gonna actually add a comment here. And this is where I'm gonna revise this sentence. So there are adults in the room. This is just an example. So it's the adults sprayed, not misted. I don't even think misted is a verb. I don't think you can mist anything. And then here's a great example too. There was one little girl who ran down the hallway with a hairbrush in her mouth. So we're going to revise this one. We can do it in the comment section. Instead of there was one little girl, you can say one little girl ran down the main hallway. Dot, 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 dot. So here we can again just simply get rid of there was one little girl. So it's just one little girl. We don't need who now. One little girl. One little girl ran down the hallway with a hairbrush in her mouth. And again, we can just simply get rid of these simple ones. Another different type here is I was shaking. I've got to be honest, I was shaking. So we can do something like, instead of I was shaking, we can do something like, to be honest, my hands shook. Okay, so there's a few examples. And here's another example. We can get rid of this. Instead of there was a small green light on the handle that turned to yellow, we can just say a small green light on the handle